You guys are tuned into Jesus. I fucked me up. Tuned into episode 8 of the Lyrical Fix Podcast.
Yeah.
What's up? What's up?
Sade.
Kid Pro.
And Val.
What's
All
good,
right.
y'all?
What's going on?
Yo, been a hectic week. It's been fucking hectic.
Oh yeah, you said something about the show. What happened?
Oh no, we get right into it?
Yeah, you're
we're
right into
going-
it.
Oh
Go ahead.
yeah. All right. So all right. So last night I had the pleasure of doing the show in Boonton at Boontunes. It was hosted by my man's rightful disciple and Turkish Royale. Shout out to them, man. It was their first time doing an open mic and showcase in Boonton, New Jersey. It's a rather good spot. Boontunes is like real narrow, so you can like pack a lot of people in the front, and it's like gives a nice little intimate venue, and it's got like a dope light show behind you while you're performing, so that's dope as well. These open mics, man, it's crazy. These guys are like savages. I was talking to my man 88 Saint about it, St. James, the 88 Saint on Instagram. Shout out to him, STTP.
What's
And
up?
yeah, man,
Shout 'em out.
it's a lot of these dudes, like, there was a 5-minute time limit, they were trying to make for time management, kind of like goes to show you that having a lot of open mic artists is kind of a bad thing at times because they never start on time. You know how hip-hop is.
Yep.
Yeah,
No.
hip-hop shows, it's tough
Never.
to start
They
on
never
time. They
fucking
never
start.
really
No.
start on time. So, yeah, that got to be a little issue. But they got it going. They worked it out, and it was a great show. Met a lot of great people, met a lot of new artists. I got to meet Ron Solomon. He killed his shit. St. James killed his shit. Villa accompanied him. And just a lot of dope artists, man. It was a great fucking time. I did my thing out there.
Okay.
And, of course, this past Thursday, Check It, was another successful night.
Yeah,
Check
check
it
in
and
open mic
mic.
night.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it was dope. It's dope. Man, yeah, my main goal is just trying to get you guys seen. So every time, it's not that, like, I'm good with the regulars. There's nothing on you guys. It's just like, damn, I'm trying to get you guys heard. So I want more people to be like, you have to see this magic. You got to see it happen. So when not a lot of people come out, I'm like, I feel like, not that I let you guys down, but I'm just like, what do I got to do next time?
Right.
I'm missing something. I got to do it. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's a normal feeling to feel. Like, I think it's common. I think it makes you human. It's just, at the same time, I don't think it's not really on you. It's also on us. It's like, are we also ourselves telling people, like, to come out to this open mic or come out to this day? Because I'm also performing and support me as an artist. How many people are repping that day as well? How many people are promoting that ahead of time?
Yeah.
That's also going into factor. So it's like, it's not just on you. It's like, at the end of the day, it's just sometimes it's busyness. It's Thursday. It's one day. So, it happens. But
Oh, yeah. Oh, and I will say also the etiquette. Was another thing. Yeah, so if you guys know from the first couple episodes, we I forget what episode it was, but we had a little thing about open mic etiquette.
3 or
Right.
4?
Right? Was it episode 3? Word. All right, one of those episodes. So yeah, man. One of the big things was my man Rightful Disciple had told all the artists beforehand, hey, bring your music on a flash drive. Bring the music on a flash drive. Simple request. Flash drives really don't cost that much nowadays. You can pay like $10-15 at like a CVS. Get something with like 5 to like 8 gigs on that shit. You can fit a lot of fucking songs, projects, even other artist music, whatever. Cover art.
And it
all
takes 2
on there.
seconds. to
Takes
take
2
it off.
seconds to do. You carry it with you. You can attach it to your goddamn keychain. And mad artists were not coming with it, and they had to use the fucking aux cord at certain points. And dude had to shout out like, "Yo, how do I turn on your phone?" And it's like this, and he had to give out his code, his passcode, and the whole audience and shit. It's a little funny
That's
moment.
fucking annoying.
But sometimes it's like you gotta come prepared with your shit. Like, it's very simple. Like, this is one of the easiest things to do. Like, the fact that you come into this open mic and you're not bringing the essentials, like just the basics, not even regular shit.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy nowadays, man. Like, I can understand if you forgot it or whatever and you just had to be a rush, but a lot of these dudes just straight up did not bring it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they were told that you were warned. Don't just email this shit. Like, it's tough for these guys running the shows. Like, they got so much other stuff to do to now deal with you or not having your shit there. I think that's fucked up, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was an issue.
Yeah, that's why, hold on. my echo, the USB only thing. It's like you can email, but my thing is like I hate the emailing. I mean, it's not. It's like it doesn't take that much time. It's like a little bit longer than a USB.
Yeah.
But I don't mind, like, if you're going to email during the show, I'm like, fine. But it's USB is way better.
It's easier, man. It's more
just
convenient.
Easier. Yeah.
Especially if there's a laptop, like it's just the simplest thing to do. And he was,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the fact that he told the artist beforehand and they still came without it. Like there was one dude that brought his and for some reason it just didn't work. All right, shit happens. Whatever.
It's
I can't
annoying.
explain it. Like it just didn't download or whatever. But other people just straight up did not bring it. Like little stuff like that, you know.
So at that point, do you stand by what you said on the flyer, or
What do you mean?
for him? As
Oh
the
no,
person who
they had the aux
runs it?
cord to play, so a lot of dudes just had to deal with the aux
But
cord.
yeah,
and
but
shit.
that's the dangerous thing about it. When people have in the past, like, oh, like just plug up my phone. I just look. I'm like, no.
But this is
Because you have to. That's the thing when you're running something like this. You have to put your foot down and be like, no. Because guess what's gonna happen next time when he still says USB only? People are gonna be like, no, but last time you had an aux cord, or you got not. You're gonna keep saying yes, and you're allowing it to happen.
right.
So you have to put your foot down.
It was them learning how to do the experience because, like I said, that was their
Still
first time in
figuring it out.
Boontunes. But you gotta just be harder on these artists, like, and for artists, it's up to us. Like, we gotta do this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we had to take those steps to at least be a little bit more professional when
Yeah.
we do these shows. Like, we can't just handle it and take it
Especially
so.
with the aux cord, because it's like, what if the volume on your phone is way too? I've been at shows where they did that. They plugged in their phone, and that shit, like, everybody's like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah,
it
man,
was
that
mad
happens
loud.
too. It's little stuff you learn with shows. But other than that, it was a great show. And what I wanted to also bring up was our boy Droovy was there
Yes,
drumming on the side. Shout out to my boy Droovy.
killing it.
Great guy, man. Fucking awesome dude, awesome individual. He was just doing the drums. He usually has like a crazy setup with guitar and bass, but last night it was
That's
just
only
the
at the
drums.
Check It, because it's Check It fam.
That's right, exactly. So you didn't get the full Droovy experience. You didn't see him in his, final
You
form.
can catch him in his prime
That's right.
every
man.
second
Killing
Thursday
shit.
at Check It and Open
So the
Mic Night.
people were blessed to see a small side of him of what he can
Yeah.
really do. But man, he was in there doing them thing, flipping
I know.
the
I
drumsticks.
seen the videos. I'm just
He's
in
amazing
awe.
every time.
There are times like there are performances where I try to if I'm not like going crazy trying to find people and shit like that, I just sit there and like try to watch the performance because I rarely get to. And there are times where I'm just nothing on the artist performing at the moment, but I just stare at Droovy, sorry. I just stare at him. I'm like, damn, how the fuck did I like find this kid? I mean, I know how, but still,
Oh, he's fucking awesome, man.
it's a fucking gem.
And I say that because it's like the dudes that didn't have their shit rocking or couldn't play their music, he was backing them up and he would just start drumming and they would just freestyle off that and work off that.
Yeah, we used to do.
He saved the show pretty much. You know what I
yeah.
mean? He
Pretty
was-
much.
as he always does.
If I had like extra time left over, and like one of the other venues, we didn't really have a time limit like we do here. And fucking, I mean, there was a trap house across the street, so nobody really cared about sound, like, music and shit like that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, oh, there's people, call the cops. Like, nobody was calling the cops in that block. So we're there, and at the end of it, usually like I'll run it by Droovy like in the beginning, but he's always down. He doesn't give a fuck what time it is. So I'm like, and then he'll be like, "Are we doing a freestyle slot?" And he loves that shit because he just drums. He's just like, all right, I'm going. And then I used to pass the mic around, and I'm like, all right, anybody, like, if you didn't get to perform or you did perform, there you go. You got to, like, drop a few bars. And then I would have to, there have been a couple times where I had to take the mic. I'm like, you had it too long. All right, next person. Like, I eventually want to go home. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there was an instance, I don't even know.
But I
again.
love those freestyle moments.
Oh yeah, I love those, and Droovy brought that out of everybody. There was other ones that just that went over their 5-minute time limit, like, and I was guilty of it as well, and I had to talk to the guy and apologize. Shout out to Turk, because it's like you
Time
try to
limit
get through
is
one
rough.
song and then you want to do another one. He's like, yo, we got to run it, we got to cut it close. Everybody started doing it, and then before you know it, the 8 to 10 open mic went to like 8 to like 10:50. But they
It
handle like
happens.
some G's.
Yeah.
It happens. This is
It's
it never
trial
goes
and
perfect
error
at a
this
show.
game. Like, you just figure
I mean,
it out.
what was
along
the
way.
time limit?
It's 5
They were giving
minutes.
people 5 minutes, but at first we weren't told. It was like 2 songs, and then 2 songs turned to 5 minutes, and there was no order. They just picked names out of a hat. And it's like, all right, you're up. The first 3, and
Yeah.
then so while one person's going, the other 2 are giving their music to the DJ so they could load it up.
That's why I
If they
always
had
try
USBs.
to. That's why I always try to keep a limit on how many performers there are, because if it's too much, then it's like people. After a while, people are like, "All right, I heard enough. I'm going
you can't
home."
do.
Like,
There's just no way to like physically. It's impossible to do 5 minutes, and just go right into the next one because you're talking, you're introducing yourself, then you're playing your music, and then you have an outro. It's not possible.
No, there's this open mic in Brooklyn that I go to. Shout out to the Cafe Open Mic. Wait, I think it's Cafe or I don't know. Sorry if I butchered that. They do 2 minutes. But you don't really get rappers. You get poets, singers. They have like a whole band. And then you'll get the occasional rapper that goes up. And that 2 minutes starts when, I mean, he says 2 minutes, the guy that runs it. But it'd be like 3 minutes. Because one time he sat next to me. He's my sister Velvet's friend. Like they go to the voice box together. And he sat next to me. He was like, let me see your phone, your timer. And I was like, all right. So I'm timing it, and I just have it like here. He looks. He's like, it hit like a minute 50 something. He's like, just turn it on. And he gave the person like an extra minute. So I guess it's kind of like, all right, don't go too crazy.
Don't go too crazy, yeah.
But there are times where he's just like creeping on the side. He's like, all right.
But what could you possibly do in 3 minutes? That's like really.
Well, as a poet, you could do a lot.
No, a poet, yeah. Like my some of my like long stuff that I'm like, damn, this is really long.
You would have to mash.
And then when I started performing and I started timing myself and doing all of that, I was like, oh shit, a minute and a half. I'm like, damn, I thought, because I'm like going through my phone, I'm like, damn, this is a lot of shit to talk about, like to perform, but it comes out to like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. 5 minutes for a spoken word, like usually I give 5 minutes, so they do 2 or 3 pieces. But I was at New Eureka and this guy was going on, it felt like 20, it had to be maybe like 5 or 10, and it was one piece. And he just kept going. And he had monotone voice. And it was good in the beginning. And it's like, oh, my God.
20 minutes of that shit?
No, it felt like 20 minutes.
How was he sounding like that? Or?
Straight monotone.
Like, I was in high school. And I was high as shit. So I don't remember.
I ain't fucking with that shit. Don't come at me with no 20-minute monotone bullshit. It was just super,
yeah. It was like the vibe. It was good. And then it was like, okay, more, and he had a notebook and he just kept flipping, and the entire time, like, we're looking at it, my eyes chinky as fuck. I look over to my boy and we're just like, is there gonna be another page? And then flip, we're like, what the fuck? Yeah, he had it back and forth too, like written, just notebook. We're like, damn, is it we said, somebody was like, yeah, I bet you like $10 is gonna be the entire notebook he wrote out. But it was only like, it was probably like maybe 5. We counted the pages. He flipped that shit like 5 times. 4? I don't know. I was high as fuck. I don't remember. But it was good. Yeah. So after a while, with singers you get off.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can knock off with
I'm
the
saying
2
for
minute
rapping.
thing.
How much?
Well, it's not really. I mean, it's a rapper vibe, but that scene is more singers and poets. Which I'm jealous because I want more singers and poets. Nothing against rappers. You guys are amazing, but annoying.
Yeah.
Nah.
No. We are. Yeah. No, I'll say that much.
No. Ooh, sorry. It's nothing. It's nothing against. Yeah. I just like. Damn. I'm like. I want more singers. So, back to check it. Wait, real quick. So, round of applause to everybody. Wait, hold on. Is it going? Ooh, I got my sound effects going.
Oh yeah. Wait, did applause just happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still going.
It's still going.
We're working on it.
Right,
but yeah, like, round of applause to everybody who came out, did their thing, to the 2 newbies.
You hear that
one. Joshua Rare and Chantel Baby.
Chantel killed it, man. What a voice on her, man.
Amazing.
Because we had spoken. I had asked her, like, all new people, like, I go through it. I'm like, oh, like, what do you want to do? Are you like, do you sing, rap or whatever? And I'm telling her, I'm like, oh, if you do this, you get 5 minutes. If you're a poet, 5 minutes. Because I didn't really go through her page. Like, if I get a DM, like, I don't go through your shit. I'm just like, oh, this is what it is. So I don't be biased.
Right.
But so I'm talking to her. She said, oh, I sing. I was like, perfect. That's what I'm looking for. Cool. But then her first song, she started rapping, and I was, I don't know, running around somewhere. And then I turned around, I'm like, this bitch told me she was singing. I'm like, whatever. And then the next song played, and I was closer to her, and I had to sit down. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
That shit, I was not
You
expecting
and I had
that.
that moment, yeah.
Because I don't know if she probably does, like, singing videos on her page, but I just, like, followed her, and that's it. I didn't go through anything. So, yeah, because I like being surprised, too, at the shows.
True. No, she had a great
And that
voice.
was a fucking surprise.
And the crazy part about it too was the first song was more rapping.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was.
Like
she
straight-
did a few
yeah,
bars.
Just straight bars.
That's why I turned around. I was like, this lying ass hoe. She said she was singing. I'm like, whatever. Get your shit off.
She was
And
like,
then,
"Blah, blah."
yeah.
The song, and then the second song turns around and just starts singing.
No,
then showing
she
off
gotta
her
sing
voice.
more.
Crazy.
Nothing against the bars, but like she
Right.
got to sing more.
Took
That
it to
shit was
another level.
bomb.
Another
Yeah, man.
amazing
And she was
singer.
dancing the whole time. She
No,
was out
she's a
there.
little ball of energy. She is. She's
Yeah.
cool as fuck.
Yo, shout out to them. Yeah, Joshua
Yeah, I want
Red
to work with her soon.
and Chantel.
We'll
That's
do
what's
that.
up, man.
Me
No,
and
it
Val,
was great having them.
that's
Yeah,
gonna,
it's in the
it's
works.
definitely gonna happen.
And the regulars. killing
The
it.
regulars, the
The
regulars. Everybody fucking killed it. I'm trying to think in
Yes.
order. I can't remember right now, but there was that kid. He did pretty good, I guess.
What kid?
What?
Pro.
Oh, no, stop it. No, stop with that.
Yeah. I mean, he
No.
was alright. He was alright. He was
But,
alright.
no, the real star of the evening was the featured guest,
Yeah, Saint. Oh my
St.
god.
James, man. Come on, brother, man.
Yeah,
STTP.
that shit,
Villa.
man.
LB
Oh,
the Great showing up by surprise.
Yeah, I missed his, I think, the second song because because sometimes during the show, like, I just need like a moment alone, like, real quick. So I step outside, perfect time. I step outside, 2 cop cars pull up.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, cops showed up,
Yeah. And they just look hella lost, and I'm just like, what's going on here? So they walk up, and the one guy, like, he says, yeah, the first cop, he said, hi, how you doing? Walks past me and looks inside, and he looked pissed off. And I was like, hi, like, I'm running the event. What's going on? Like, what do you need? And then he's like, yeah, we got I guess a complaint about noise and a lot of people, but it's only you. He's like, I don't see or really hear anything. So I could tell he was pissed off just the fact that he got called out. And then, like, we were joking around and shit. And I told him, I'm like, no, it's just, I do a break. I told him what it was, the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I do a break in the middle just so, like, the smokers can go outside and, And then he's like, I was like, we probably got a little too excited. I know we got a little loud, but I didn't think it was late. That was like 10:30.
Yeah.
And when I went outside, I think it was about 11. And I was like, it's 10:30. I didn't think. And he's like, don't even worry about it. He's like, it's this. He's like, just relax. It's fine. He's like, if anything, turn the volume down a little bit. But which he meant the bass, which is funny, me explaining the difference between volume and bass to a cop. I was like, so actually, I was like, no, and then he just looked at me and started laughing. I was like, I'll talk to my sound guy. It's fine. And he was just like, yeah, because he's like, he went to the side of the building. He's like, I hear it because that's where, like, the speaker was facing was the wall.
Right.
And that's what he was like kind of like right there on the side. And he's like, I hear it here, but it's not even obnoxious. He's like, it's like, whatever. I was like, just turn it down a little bit. It's fine.
Yeah,
you guys are cool.
She told me about it in the open mic, and I was
Yeah.
just like, what?
And then I'm outside, and because they like cops, they usually chill around for a bit.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting outside, and then I see Covey. Shout out to Covey. I see him, and he sees me, and he's like, oh shit, like he was looking for me. And then I'm like, no, I'm like 5-0, no. And he's walking down the steps. He's like, oh, and then like walk back. I was like, stay your ass inside. So yeah, I handled it, squashed it. It was all good.
That's what's up. Okay.
Yeah, and then people thought I was joking. I was like, no, they were.
They did. Yeah, they didn't know what the hell you were talking about.
Yeah, and they were like, wait, seriously? There's
Yeah.
cops here? I was like, no, you can't tell nobody. The fucking cops
No,
pulled
'cause
up.
Everybody did a
They
double take.
They just get that.
Yeah, I was like, no, it's handled. That she was like 20 minutes ago at this point.
They got super quiet when you said it too.
I know, but as soon as when I walked in, I'm trying to think. I caught his last 2 songs, so I didn't miss too much. But
Right.
that shit was fire. Saint Set.
Yeah.
Yes.
Saint
He
Set.
did. He did pretty much his whole EP Clips Volume 4. So that was dope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that shit was fire though.
Yeah, man. So shout out to him, man, and the whole crew.
Trying to think. No, you're good. Sorry.
And
And then who else
Epidemic was there
good?
too.
Yeah, he was dope.
Also one of the
Yeah,
producers from
shout him out.
SCTP.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
SCTP fam.
Epidemic, what up?
And
Villa. Oh my God, another highlight though was the Villa and Johnson sold out.
Y'all niggas
Bruh.
started.
Hold on. I got
I guess
another
is
fun
this where we
little
play a break
feature.
or we play the song or something for a little bit?
No, I'm not gonna play the whole thing,
Okay.
just a little bit.
Man.
Yeah, you have
So
to.
the song is off the Act 2 of the STTP season, where it's a lot of artists along with them. Like, I can't name them all right now, but I know I'm on a song called Infinity Stones on the second act with Saint, with K Proetic, with Stephen Darnell, with Guess. And I think that's all of us, yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, produced by, oh my God, I don't want to know if it's Epidemic or Indeed. Whoever it is, I'm sorry. I can't name it off the bat right now.
No,
Damn.
it's all good. It's all
But yeah,
good.
but it's on there. And Ron Solemn's on there. And
Was it-
shit,
this
there's
is
so
one
many
guy-
fucking artists on there. If I forgot your name, obviously, I'm sorry. But yeah,
There's this one
crazy.
guy, Elements.
Johnson sold out. Elements, yeah. The
Oh,
Elements.
that was fire. I don't remember what's on that one. That was fires. But yeah, I heard Act 2, Audio Mac and SoundCloud.
I heard it too.
I did 1 and 2, and I re-listened back to 1, and I got to 2, and I heard every song, but I kept going back to the Johnson joint.
Johnson sold out in Villa. First song's called Really Real. Really Real.
Just hold on real quick, guys. Just listen to that.
Integrity lost when pressured with an increased living cost. Morals gone in a spiral when it's whatever it takes to be viral. Makes one question, what's really real anymore?
I had
Authenticity, a foreign conspiracy sung in yesteryear's
a little bit in the
interlude.
background.
I'm mashing the playback button, but Alexa got other
And it's
ideas.
funny because
She got phoniness
I'm so
queued
mad
up.
at that
oh,
song.
I'm putting it down now, so we can talk
I'm
about
so angry
it.
at that
Yeah. Oh my God. Why are you angry? Talk about it.
song. I'm angry because that fucking song is beautiful. It's an incredible song.
It
The
is.
beat is amazing. And if I'd have known that shit was available, I would have jumped on that. And they're saying like, yeah, let's do a remix and everything, but I'm like, nah, it's just too good already. Like, I don't want to fucking even risk anything. That shit is perfect the way it is.
Yeah,
Like,
I
it's
just I liked it because I love it.
So smooth.
Yeah, and it's something that not that they haven't done before, because I haven't heard all of their shit, but it's just out of their like pocket, I guess. But while it's still in their realm, but it's not. It's like something new for me that I've heard from them, and I fucking love it. And it's funny, like where because I heard about this. So background for the people that weren't there. Johnson walks up and Kid Pro, while we're outside chilling, Kid Pro had a fucking fit. And he's like, this motherfucker. And I'm like, no, I haven't heard anything. Don't say anything. and then later on, Guest walks up, Guest Music, and then he says something about it. And it was almost like they were ruining a movie for me.
We're getting out spoilers.
I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Because guys was like, you heard this track and then this one. It's like, you're like,
Yeah.
no. You're trying to stop
yeah.
that shit.
So,
Spoil it for me, please.
and it was funny because prior to that, like I was just about to say it, but then you like went off on Johnson. I was just about to tell him like, oh, like I got that email because he sent me an instrumental, and I was be like, yeah, I got the email, like you're all set. And I was about to ask him like, oh, what are you about to do tonight? And then I was gonna say something, but you guys were talking, and I'm like, oh, I think I know.
He played it off, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, stick around.
Oh, wait, I did it with Saint. That shit was so funny. It's like, stick around.
That's the best impression of him. Shout out to Johnson Sold Out. Oh, man, I hope he gets to see that one.
Oh, that shit was hilarious.
Does the Birdman hand rub? Shrugs his shoulders, yeah.
But it's like, no, to me, that's a Johnson Sold Out shit. He's just like,
Yeah.
with the shoulders out.
Yeah, that's so
Pop
true.
my shoulder out and shit. Yeah, it was just funny because
got a
when
knot there.
Saint got here, that's when I pulled him to the side, and I was like, oh, listen, I know, what's it called? I was like, oh, I know, like, I heard about the project. I haven't heard it yet, but Johnson did send me an instrumental. Is that what's going on? And he looked at me and smiled. I was like, okay. And then he was like, he was like, wait, if you haven't heard it, how do you know about it? So I told him what happened outside and the whole thing, and he was just dying. He was like, yo, that was like perfect. That's what he does. I was like, yeah. I was like, Johnson, I mean, he sent me the instrumental and then he did that. I'm like, oh yeah, you just gave it away. But it was funny. I'm just happy. Like, I kind of knew about it. Like, I didn't go to the bathroom. Like, I wasn't away, so I was there for it. But I pulled him. I was like, all right, so this is how do you want me to set it up this way? So it kind of just flows that the three of you guys, you know, because Johnson had his set, then Villa featured on it, and then Villa, and then Saint featured on Villa's, and then it was just Saint. So I had it like work that way and shit.
Okay.
And but it was just so funny. Saint's reaction. He was just like, fuck. He was like, oh my god. He was like, okay, fine. Yeah, that works. And then he walks away, and as he's walking away, he was like, yo, that was the best impression. He just wouldn't. And then like 20 minutes later, he was like, do it again. He wanted me to show somebody. I was just like,
yeah.
no, but that shit was great. No, and the track, and
awesome.
then Villa did his fucking thing on that track, and I know like they slipped up because I had a feeling. I mean, the project just came out.
Yeah.
I had a feeling it wasn't performance ready, but they still did their
And then
thing.
he
no
caught
matter
it
what.
back and he did his fucking thing. Yeah, man, they killed that shit.
No, they did.
I
and
love
then
being
the
front
track,
row
I
for that.
haven't stopped
Word.
listening to it.
Yeah, it's great.
That's
man.
probably why I haven't listened.
Project
Really.
as a whole is great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Shout out
Yeah,
to
I
everybody that's on that project,
Mhm,
man.
for
All the
sure.
producers, everybody involved, for real, man. It's always
Yeah.
those guys are class acts, man. To bring everybody together to them and just record music together with people they've met through these showcases, like really goes to show you like the power of like Jersey music and like just the power of networking, getting together with other artists and just making some dope collaborations together, man. Like it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that
really
that night
awesome.
was amazing.
So shout out to them if you haven't heard it. SoundCloud, Audio Mac, STTP Season Act 1, which features a whole bunch of other artists, and then Act 2, the same thing, man. Great collab
and
tape.
then Val did me proud.
Oh,
He did.
thanks.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
performed.
yeah,
Yeah, with Joy.
With Joy. Shout out to
Fucking
Joy.
I
Killed
did a little
it.
number with
Killed
Joy
it.
as she danced.
Did
I had
Body
a
Party?
little thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Body Party by Sierra.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up. And then wait, the song you did before with Droovy,
Summertime.
Summertime. Right.
Yeah.
Killed it.
It was
Guys,
funny
I
because
appreciate it.
they were rehearsing and like we're all outside and it was during the break before Saint and I see them run off to the side and I look over. I'm like, the fuck you guys doing? Practicing? I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then I went over and I looked. I was like, where the fuck are they? Like they disappeared. I figured 'cause people kept walking over there that you guys came down here.
Yeah.
But yeah, that shit came out so good. Trying to think of what else.
Yeah, man. Joy.
Gas did his thing. Joy
Yeah.
was like, oh my, that bitch was on
Joy
fire.
freestyling the whole time with the dancing. She's on the floor. She's bouncing. She's shaking everywhere. Oh, it's fucking awesome. She's killing it, man.
And then I saw the and I saw the whole mic thing. So I go to the corner and then she just spins to me and gives it to me.
Yeah.
And then
real
spun to
smooth.
me, like, and then I moved a little bit, like I was trying to like catch her again, like at the end of it, and I was just like, all right. And then she spun to me and gave it back. That shit was great.
Yeah, you were definitely a perfect. I don't even know what
Perfect
that's
position.
called.
No, but
Pop manager.
I didn't really
or
know. I didn't
don't know
realize
what
that people like. I mean, I and people got eyes; they see shit. But I didn't know if people really saw it until I watched the video. And then you don't see me. I mean, like you see me in the video because I got close to it. You see my little buns and shit in the camera.
Yeah.
But when I'm grabbing the mic or giving it to her, you don't see me. So you just see her spin a little bit out of the shoot. I mean the shot, and then she just comes right back, and there's no mic. Or all of a sudden she has a mic. But then you hear people's reactions. You're like, yo, when you.
That's probably me. I definitely said that.
Oh, it had to be you. I figured you were a
Because it was
guest.
smooth. Yeah.
Figured you were a guest.
Yeah.
But that shit was just
Because it
fire.
was. She did the quick spin, handed off. And like, oh, she was that smooth with it. I was like, all right, I see you.
Yeah.
All right, Joy.
I'm trying to think
No,
who
but y'all
else to
killed that
shout
shit for
out.
real.
Yeah, just
Thank
shout out to
you.
everybody who came by.
We had a
Oh,
great time.
the new videographer on the team. I'm going through them like fucking water now. He's gonna be a keeper though. Q, shout out to Q.
Yeah, shout out to Q, man. Did his fucking thing out there, man.
He was
Shout out to
doing
Q.
video
Posted real
and
professional.
camera, and he was doing video and photos because Adele,
Oh, word.
the new photographer, it was her kid's birthday yesterday. I mean, well, that night.
Okay.
So
Well, shout out to her anyway, because
Mhm.
last month she did her
Yes.
thing too.
no, yeah, she did.
Yeah, man.
So
Absolutely.
but he was just on fucking fire. The only thing is, like, during Joy's set, he was taking pictures that came out like, I mean, your set, taking pictures that came out fire. You've seen them. But then when the bitch got on the floor, you see he's like, oh shit, and he tries to move the camera to, like, he's trying to
Yeah.
catch her.
Gotcha.
But it was still dope though, because he's like doing two things at once. Yeah, he came in clutch last minute, like the day
he
before.
did.
So it
Very last minute.
sent from fucking heaven.
Shout out to Q.
A little PSA though. So when people go to these events, photographers and videographers are always welcomed to my show. If you want to, do your little hustle, make a little money, make a little connections, network, all good. But let's just remember that these events are already recorded, so we have to respect the person, respect the photographer that's actually hired to be there, respect the videographer who's actually hired to be there. Not knocking the hustle at all, but stay out of the shot.
Word up.
You got to stay out of the shot, because now you're messing up footage that comes free with the people's performances just so you can sell your shit. It's not cool. And also, if you ever feel like at my shows, I know I got a bitch face, but at my shows, it's all love. If anybody has a problem with me, you can probably just come and talk to me and just let me know. And yeah,
Okay.
I think that leaves it
Fair
like that.
enough. Fair enough.
Wait to say it, girl.
What?
I
don't
am
think that
who
was
the
too
fuck
spicy.
I am. Like
I
she
am who
said.
the fuck I am. Nah, no,
ahead.
it wasn't that spicy. I don't think so.
Yeah, no,
No,
but
no, no.
it needed to be.
It was like white pepper. It was the white people, black and the black pepper thing.
The black pepper.
The-
The black
that's
corn
it.
pepper.
Yeah, that's
all right,
the one.
all right. Slightly
It's
spicy.
take
slightly
it.
spicy.
Slightly
That's
That's
spicy.
it. Just respect the shot.
Ooh,
Respect
yeah.
the people that are
That's a
hired
contender
to
for.
be there.
It's a contender for the title. The episode slightly spicy.
Slightly spicy. There you
Slightly
go.
spicy.
Damn, only a half hour in, we already got a title.
Slight spice.
Look at us.
Yo, we didn't even shout
Ooh.
out the streaming platforms for this episode.
Oh my
I just noticed.
goodness!
We just
Yes,
went right
we
into it.
did.
We-
Oh,
yeah,
no,
we
okay.
did.
Yeah, we didn't. So, yo, we're
I mean, yeah, we didn't.
Too
All right,
late?
go ahead.
No,
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 So
we
we're
can name it at any
we
time.
gotta do it, right?
anyways.
Anytime, anyways.
Anytime.
But
Shit.
yeah,
Knock
just
it
do it at the
out.
beginning.
Knock it
Yeah,
out.
but we're on
It's still
the.
the beginning
I'm
technically.
trying to remember. I never really say in order, but we're on Audio
matter.
Mac, we're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Anchor, we're on Spotify, and we're on YouTube now. So please, on all of them, give us a great rating, follow us, subscribe, hit the notification bells if there is one, so you always get that content as soon as you wake up in the morning. Hear us on your way to work, gym, whatever the fuck you want to do. And we just chilling out, smoking. Check us out. It's a great.
Driving to work.
Driving to
home.
work. We're gonna
Driving
be
to the
having
club, driving back.
another guest episode coming soon. That's right. another guest episode coming soon. You want to just give it out now?
No.
No, right.
No.
But some friends. We'll just say that they're friends of the show.
What the hell? You guys got a foot thing, and I do.
We all got a foot thing technically. No. Wait, use this, the other side that I'm working.
Oh, wait,
right here.
wait.
Val, you can use the other side over there.
We are fucking shit up. I can't.
All right, you just gonna. Well, I'm good
Yeah,
here.
Val just kicked me out on my
All
own
right.
footstool. No, you're good.
Put your foot where mine is on the other side. You can't do that.
Oh, we got mics.
We gotta edit that part out.
I can't.
Kick the shit out these damn
we're
mics.
keeping that.
You know what? It is
Well,
what it
we'll
is.
see how it
I'm
sounds.
okay with not having anything.
Right, it is what it is.
Yeah, the last three
I feel
episodes.
left
The last
out.
3 episodes you did.
Yeah, I was
True.
spoiled. I was spoiled.
True.
It's
Yeah.
alright. I don't need
Maybe we can get some
anything.
sponsorship
My
for
foot doesn't wanna hit
footstools.
the
Ooh,
floor.
but I just cracked my legs just doing that extension. Working 12 hours
yeah.
a day.
Oof.
Wait, did you get through that shit? Sorry, I noticed the foot thing and I got hyped. I was like, my foot doesn't have to be on the floor. Trying to think. Fuck.
Woo. We go back.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, let's take a break now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
We're gonna punch
Break.
out and punch back in.
And we're back. It was good. Yeah, I had to take a little break.
My friend Aaron.
Back with
If you guys didn't realize, Morgan Freeman joins us in our second half.
That's right. Back on the Lyrical
For
Fix.
a second, I was like, "Fuck, what was his name?"
I
You
love.
forgot the nigga's name?
To be honest, I want to
Trying to
have
think
a
for like
meet
2
and greet
seconds.
with Morgan Freeman, and I said this before he passes away, but going back.
He got caught up in some nasty shit recently. I don't know what the fuck he did, but he was brought up as like sexual harassment type shit with the whole Me
really?
Too. He was throwing in that shit.
I didn't even.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. That was fucking weird. Yeah, that Me Too movement came and spread like wildfire, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's some scary shit.
Can you just explain what the Me Too movement
Oh
is?
no, I'm not the type of person
No,
to describe
no,
that.
no,
That's more of a
you're not gonna want to
a woman should describe that. I mean, that's the whole thing.
I mean,
but
Terry Crews did take part of it. He did.
Yeah,
come
true,
out
in a
and
way.
say something, yeah.
But basically, it's the best that I could describe it. Like, again, I'm not the person to say anything about it. But just women just voicing stories about situations that happened to them where they were harassed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then
Okay.
every woman was like, "Well, me too. I went through that as well," and it just
Mm-hmm.
exposed a lot of people in the entertainment and music
Yeah.
industry that were doing some shady shit. And
Yeah, because it's one of those things where it's like like it's not spoken about because women are too like afraid, like, okay, nobody's gonna believe me, this and that.
Yeah.
So it's
'Cause
one
they're
of
gonna
those
think
like, me
either-
too, like
Reputation
I've
is
been through it.
ruined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then because there have been women and it has happened where they're like blackballed because of it.
right,
And it's happened, but like the aggressor is perfectly fine, goes about his life like nothing, and then these people are like shunned for it.
Yeah.
And it happened to them.
so shit like
So
that.
that's what I'm saying. Like, to be honest, it's like, how are we to say that it actually happened too? Because, like, let's go back to what we spoke on the last episode with C. Millie and her brother, was to say that girl didn't just make it up, you know, and made up the story of this harassment or violation or.
Well, no, yeah.
You know what
'cause
I'm saying?
she-
Just to
yeah.
get that attention or that money or whatever.
No, she did. So the case, and again, shout out to C. Millie.
Yeah.
They're going
get
through the
abused
case. I
too.
think they just did their second hearing. Yeah. So we can't talk about too much. Oh, yeah, we can't talk about it too much. But it was one of those instances that she. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, no, I don't know what I really don't know what I can and cannot say. But it was one of those things.
Yeah.
Where she
It's
did
just
lie
like,
about
it's like
it.
one
yeah.
of those things. Like, you don't know if the accuser is the actual person
Well,
that needs to be accused or the victim is the victim.
And that was happening a lot
Mhm.
because
That
there were a
does
lot of
happen.
women that were using that to gain an advantage.
Yeah.
Like, but there were women that like
We're
let's say,
really
like,
going through
they're really
it.
going through it. Like, you know, auditions in Hollywood for a movie role. You know, meeting with an executive and
Yeah.
he's forcing you to do stuff that you're not comfortable doing
Yeah.
in order to get a part and you get ahead in the industry. Like, there were a lot of stories of women going through that. Some were true, some weren't. Some were just using that to get, you know, some money or, you know, trying to get a leg up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, and that was also like shaming a lot of people that weren't going through it. And then through that, they're like going through old text messages and they're going through old tweets and shit and trying to bring out all that shit. So it was like Me Too and cancel culture that was also going on.
Right.
Like, people
Yeah.
getting canceled left and right. Some for reasons that were definitely legitimate, others for like some bullshit, making people look bad. And it's ruined a lot of people's reputation in the process. People that don't deserve to have it happen to them.
Yeah, and that was the unfortunate thing about it is, hold on, I hear my voice and
delay.
it's annoying me.
No, it's good.
That's the unfortunate thing about it is, and I think that's what really tried to get the movement going, is before that it was a lot of like there were people lying about it, or like the cases where it's like a college party and the star basketball player all of a sudden he's hooking up with a girl, the next day he's getting arrested for it.
Rape.
And she's calling it rape when it wasn't rape. And then like you find out years later, or the that group with the Netflix show that just came out, the Park 5, the Central Park shit. I can't remember. Central Park 5. Yeah, but that whole, they were innocent the entire time kind of thing. So it's something like that. So then that's what the Me Too movement was, and I feel like they were trying to weed it out. They were like, no, like I really, like, me too. Like, I went through that, but no, I really did go through that. Like, I'm not just lying, because that's why women were so silent about it. And like Terry Crews stepped up and was like, no, this has also happened to me.
Yeah.
And it's one of those cases, like last week we were talking about it with the with C. Millie's brother, and it's like, no, this actually does happen to men, and like the stats on it, the number for men is lower, but we don't know if that's factual because men don't really come out and say it. And that was a big deal when Terry did, when Terry Crews said it
Right,
during
you
the
gotta
Me Too
imagine
movement.
a lot of these other executives, like, you imagine some of them got to be gay. There's got to be some stuff going on, you know, behind
Oh,
the scenes and
Jesus.
stuff where all these actors are doing, you know,
No, for sure.
harassing these young men out here.
Yeah.
Like,
And
I'm
I
sure it
don't-
happens.
I forgot Terry. I think I don't know if it was like a director. I don't I'm not sure who it was. I don't even know if he named him, but it was somebody like higher up where he just thought, and that's
Yeah.
what people with money, it's like I can do whatever I want. Like I'm gonna grab you and nothing else is gonna happen,
They
and
need
that's it. You know,
power.
like nothing. You know, no consequences.
Yeah, control and power and all that bullshit, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that shit is
is ugly.
crazy.
Shit is
Yeah.
fucked up, man. Fuck. What else you wanna? Let's
How
move
do
on from that. What else we
we-
want to get into? We got some shit.
Yeah.
We got a
oh,
couple. You
we're
want
gonna-
to fire through the topics?
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
fire
Real
through
quick.
it. We're
Let's
gonna
go.
fire
Let's just
through
fire
it.
through these goddamn topics, man. Because
'Cause
let's
it was
be
a
real, it was
slow-
a slow.
slow.
Yeah, it
fucking
was a
this
slow
week.
week.
I was
So we're-
performing K.I.D tour. Know what I mean? We were all
Oh, yeah.
busy work and shit. So, you know what I mean? We didn't really have a lot going on. And just nothing really happened this week. I mean, we don't want to
a
talk
lot
about.
happened for us, but not
Yeah.
in like for current events.
Nah,
It's
not
like,
for current events. Yeah,
Yeah.
didn't rock the world. You
No,
know what I
Right.
mean? But we don't want to talk about that one guy who's in that one place that we talked about a couple times already. So you can skip that. He's doing his own thing out here.
We don't have to mention his name.
But yo, I wanted to hear first and foremost because I saw it on Instagram, but really didn't go into it. What happened with T.I. and Iggy Azalea? They still
Oh.
this is still
So I
going
think
on.
it was actually part of that Netflix show.
Rhythm and Flow.
Yeah, Rhythm
Okay.
and Flow. All right, let me look it up.
Okay, so yeah, all I saw was just he said some shit about her, and he don't want to
Alright.
cause another blunder like Iggy Azalea. That's all I know.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
while it was on the promo run for it. Do they have a video? Damn. Yeah, I don't know if they don't have a video for it. So during the promo run for Rhythm and Flow, I guess T.I. made a comment, and then I mean, for those who don't know, T.I. was managing Iggy, or
Was she signed to the label, the Grand Hustle? I think she was.
was she? Yeah, I
'Cause she
think
was on the
something like
compilation
that,
tapes
or
and
like
shit.
he was like trying to be like come here, Iggy, like under my wing kind of thing. So I don't know if it was that or signed. I think she actually was signed.
She was signed
That
to
is
Grand
probably
Hustle,
a
I feel
possi-
like.
yeah.
It was like when Usher had Justin Bieber.
Oh
and
yeah,
Big
he
Wayne.
was signed. So while promoting, let me see. Yeah, T.I. admitted that he's not proud of signing signing Iggy, and he said that she tarnished his legacy.
Bro, no, she didn't.
So
No, she didn't. Ain't nobody holding that over him. That's not affecting his top 10 list or placement.
No, I know.
Come on,
So,
bro.
and then he said this in the promo. I'm still actively looking for another female rapper because it's part of Rhythm and Flow. It's kind of like The Voice, but for rappers. Is it The Voice? The Voice, right? Yeah. I'm still actively looking for another female rapper who can undo the blunder of Iggy Azalea.
Oh, that was more than slightly spicy.
Yeah, that is that is the tarnish of my legacy as far as
Tarnish of my legacy.
as far as being an
Jesus.
executive is concerned. To me, this is like when Michael Jordan went to play baseball.
Wow. You took it a step. That is spicy. Was that really a big deal though? She had a big hit. Like as an executive, that's a good move. You got somebody that can give you like a top 10 hit.
Right.
Yeah, all I'm
Yeah.
gonna
come on.
say, like, bruh,
Nah, that was
shots were fired.
Yeah, that's a little too much.
Yeah,
Oh, we
shots
can hear a
were
diss track
fucking
from her in
fired.
response very soon, I'm
yeah.
sure.
Did she
And
get
I don't know if she.
responded or not?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't think it
man, I
matters.
would've-
Oh no, she tweeted something and then deleted it. I'm gonna see if
Oh.
she actually said anything. Iggy's and I feel bad because Iggy's gotten so much bullshit. While she, yeah,
From the industry, sorry.
no, you're good, you're good.
Yeah.
That's usually the part where I'm like, all right, raise her voice. No, she's gotten a lot of flack and shit. I get it. Like they feel like, oh, you're white, you're rapping, this and that, and then especially with the whole body changing thing,
She did change her body. I thought that was natural.
what is
No,
natural
no,
about
she had a
that?
little work done.
Dang.
a little work done.
Everybody's been getting work done. I was like, dang, this girl's.
Oh yeah, it's not a new thing. They just look a lot realer. But no, Iggy, that's definitely yeah.
That's why I feel like it's like now a trend to have a big butt and big lips
it's
because
been
of
like that
these
for a minute.
people.
It's been like that for a minute.
Oh yeah, imagine. Oh, this is what she tweeted back. I mean, she tweeted about that, and then deleted. Imagine thinking I was his biggest blunder, laughing my ass off with mad O's. Tip, sweetie, we have a whole list for you.
Straight up, yeah.
I mean,
Yo, mad rappers that were signed to that label that didn't go anywhere.
yeah,
At least while they were on that label.
yeah, because you
So,
don't
come
hear
on.
too much. I mean, it's not
Really gonna argue that?
Grand Hustle Records is not nothing on tip, but it wasn't just one of those things.
Would you be able to bring up the roster of Grand Hustle throughout the
Yeah.
years, like the total Grand Hustle roster? Because I remember he had a.
All right, talk.
I know. I remember he had like a couple crews. Damn, I think it was Pimp Squad Click, PSC.
Oops.
They brought a tape. I'm trying to remember who else was signed to Grand Hustle, but there was like a moment where he had like a bunch of people, and they were gonna come out with some shit, and it just didn't hit while they were on there.
It
But
did.
Iggy Azalea had a
Did
fucking.
you guys hear about that? Oh, sorry.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
go.
No, go.
But Iggy Azalea had a fucking hit. Like she was out in these streets. She was doing award shows and shit.
For how
she's-
long? And then
A
it
good 1 or
died.
2 years, but she brought a hit to the label. You know what I mean? Like in the sense, as an executive, that's a win.
The Fancy.
Probably was Fancy. I think.
Fancy was, I think, her breakout.
I think that was a breakout hit, but that was while T.I. was with her.
Y'all ready?
So all right, we got
All right. So, I mean, there's former acts too. God damn, he had a lot. I didn't realize. Oh, Killer Mike. I didn't know. Meek Mill was on
on Grand Hustle. I didn't know
I
that.
didn't even know he was on
Would you
Grand
look at that?
Hustle. But Meek was on there, had no releases.
Oh,
Killer Mike had one release under, but he's not there anymore. Killer Mike left 2012. Meek was only there for 2 years. He left 2010. Let me see. Nobody really worth mentioning. Oh, DJ Drama. He had 2, and he was there for a good amount. All right, and then let me see. Travis Scott. Travis Scott is Grand Hustle? Oh, I knew he was Epic, but I didn't know he was Grand Hustle. He's there. He's had his 4 since he's been there since 2013. Wally the Great. No idea who. He signed last year. He's his newest one. He's the newest signee.
okay.
Trey the Truth, which is bomb as fuck. Oh, I didn't know he was VP. That's
I
dope.
didn't know that either.
Yeah. Let me see. And then T.I. Damn, 15 projects. That's what. His discography is insane. It's not a whole lot of names. Yeah, B.O.B. Let's talk about B.O.B.
All right, but going back to the list,
go.
a lot of other people, but I don't know if they had any other hit records. Now maybe.
No, but that's what I wanted to talk about B.O.B. about. It's like,
okay.
damn, like what happened?
Oh, I have no idea. I have
Yeah.
no idea what
And he
happened. Whatever
had-
did happen, that fucking sucks.
5 releases, but a lot of the people that are signed
Right.
to, besides T.I., nobody has over 5. A lot of them have no releases under the label, and then there's a few ones, a 3 or 4. It's the top 2 besides T.I. It's Travis Scott with 4, and then there is B.O.B. with 5.
Yeah, so I don't know much about being executive, but as far as if they had like a bad relationship afterwards and it
Right,
just
or
went
something.
sour, then I can understand him saying there's a tarnish on his legacy. But as far as like business and the business of getting records and getting hit records, she brought you that. You know, so it was a win there. So you can't like
Young
knock
Dro
that
was
off.
on there too.
Young Draw, okay. So I mean,
So,
I don't know.
I get it. I get
it, I guess.
Compared to like if you think about even, I mean, like good music, like designers trying to get out of it because he hasn't been doing it a lot. But good music was doing pretty good. It's not really up there compared to like Dreamville, and I mean Rock Nation is just everything.
Would
And
you guys
then
consider a tarnish on his legacy?
Tarnish.
Who's in Def Jam?
Everybody.
Everybody. That's a long list here to go
So
through.
there's Def Jam, and then there's everybody else. I mean, it's not that
Like
big.
Def Jam's like the umbrella.
So there's
Everything under is like little.
well,
small
no,
labels
that would
under
be Universal.
That's another umbrella.
Yeah, so it's like those are like the umbrellas. Like there's the top tier, then there's the next and the next and the next, and it just keeps going. And then the final tier pretty much is what you would consider Dreamville or TDE, good music, because those are subgroups of a Def Jam or an Epic or Atlantic.
Yeah.
Okay,
kinda
I see
thing.
what you're saying.
So
Yeah.
you could technically be signed
gets
to like 3
confusing.
different fucking
Yeah.
labels. Like
Yeah.
You could be signed like Wayne or Drake, like they were signed to Universal, signed to Cash Money, signed to Young Money.
Yeah, you can't just if you're signed to one. I think you're pretty much it's all connected.
Yeah.
Kind of right.
In a way, but when you're signed to 3 different labels, like that's 3 different people taking money from you and shit.
Yeah, because you can be signed to Def Jam and not
Yeah.
necessarily
Because
be,
everybody's getting a cut of your
you
check.
know, to like one of their subgroups.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's alone.
as
But
an artist,
Tarnish,
that's a wild thing to deal with. I would not think that it
I don't
tarnishes legacy.
I don't think I think that was a blunder. I think those words are a little bit that was extra spicy. I was I was a little spicy.
You're slightly
I was
spicy.
easy spicy. Slightly spicy.
Slightly spice.
Um,
Slight spice.
That was ghost pepper spice.
Habanero.
I feel like is it
Ghost pepper?
Habanero.
ghost pepper? I feel
Yeah, it's probably a
I
big
think-
thing.
I think I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know.
not-
But
or past
it was
sriracha.
spicy nonetheless. And that, yeah, I would say he's probably more like embarrassed by it or probably tired of having to hear because he really rocks with her and he was there. But I think if you're gonna sign somebody and have in like, okay, you're doing this, you have to be with them.
Yeah.
You're letting her make all these mistakes. You're letting her get carried away on social media and getting all like, I mean, you can't help if she gets depressed because of the comments made towards her, but you know, you can't. Oh shit! Sorry, I just want to make sure we're still good. But you can't fucking just let that shit rock.
Yeah.
And I'm sure maybe he did step in, maybe he talked to her, but you can tell like throughout the years she hasn't had somebody really there. So for you to say tarnish and blunder, no, like somewhere, and I think that's what she's trying to say. She deleted that shit because that's that's her boss. I don't know if she's still signed actually. I didn't see her name,
It's probably not. No, she probably
No.
got released.
but she, but I mean that's a top guy. Like you don't want to you piss him off, and if you piss him off, you pissing everybody off.
But
So
that goes to show you that she's not on the label anymore anyway, because he wouldn't have said that if she was.
no, yeah, true. You're right. Yeah.
So whatever it was that went sour, that's probably the reason for those
Yeah.
comments. I would assume.
Because she
Definitely.
just probably it just got out of control, and I think when you're gonna do a label and you're gonna have a roster, you have to be able to control all of them. Don't sign a whole bunch of people because they got talent and think they're just gonna work. And I'm not saying that's T.I., but that's just in a case where you have too many people. Who the hell? And that's why I like TDE. Like they focus, they take turns.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, they
SZA on Everyday Struggle. Her visit there, she's pretty much said like my time, then Schoolboy Q, and then going on.
Which is cool. Which is what you want out of a label. Everybody getting their individual attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it's
'Cause
their time to release.
It was. She had a moment where she was kind of like spoiled brat, and then all of a sudden those tweets got deleted. Something about she was talking shit about like her album not coming out or whatever,
Yeah.
and then she
Which is
deleted
understandable.
everything, and you could kind of imagine. It's not. Is it Punch? No, not Punch. I'm
Top.
bugging. Top, yeah, Top Dog, TDE, duh. You could imagine Top Dog is probably like, bitch, like if you don't calm the fuck down, you're being a little brat right now, like you're gonna
Being
get your
spicy.
time, yeah. So he probably got spicy to calm her little spice ass down, but
See, the spice thing is working. It's gonna be this episode. The spice.
It
The
has
spice.
to.
All
we
different levels
gotta
of
come
spice
up, we
have
gotta
been.
come up with a ranking.
The spice. Yeah, it might have to be the spice
No, we
ranking.
we do.
Sometimes that's the only way people listen.
It was started at 2. Now it's
Yeah.
getting to talking about some other shit, some 4s.
But I wouldn't say that. He's probably been tired
Yeah.
over the years having to answer for her, and
But has it
because
really
he
been
was
that many questions
responsible.
about her? Has it really been a
Well,
lot?
no, behind the scenes, you don't know. All these people, like, they get together, they have meetings. I think
Right.
he goes, like, say if he's at the Rock Nation fucking brunch, and like they're like, yo, like your girl,
What's up with
the
your
fuck-
girl?
Yeah, something like that. And imagine like having to be responsible for somebody, but you're not really they go rogue and like they do all this extra shit,
All right.
and it's like so I get it, but he used the wrong words, I think.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you don't have to trash
was-
the
it was-
female
it was
like
a little
that.
fucked up.
That's not expected of T.I. at least.
To
I would
knock her
think.
down like that, it was a little
Yeah,
fucked
yeah, he
up.
didn't have to go that hard. But all right, but it is what it is. I mean, but I think when they make a list of like the top 10 or top 20 rappers turned executives, and they mention T.I.'s name, I think that won't really be a big deal.
No.
Not gonna put like an asterisk. Oh, but he also managed Iggy Azalea. Like, nah, I don't
Yeah.
think that's gonna matter. Alright.
Um,
Moving on from that,
Mhm.
surprise! I just found out during the break you mentioned it that Rihanna is dropping an album later this month,
What?
which I'm fucking excited for, man. I fuck with Rihanna
Yeah.
a lot, man.
That's dope.
The Navy.
She's always made some dope shit, man.
the
You
Navy,
can't front on her,
the
man.
Navy
For real.
gather.
For real,
I
man.
wonder what
Um,
kind of style, what kind of.
She said it's gonna be reggae. Damn, I can't find the link right now.
Oh, so this is okay.
It's gonna be reggae.
gonna be
she
reggae?
she did
What
talk
up?
about it before.
Yes.
Oh,
I can fuck with some reggae.
so she said something about
I listen to
Rihanna has.
everything.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be self titled. So it's gonna be Rihanna. That's the album name. A 500
Watch out.
504 page visual autobiography, including over
son.
1,000 photos.
Nah, son.
So it's gonna be some extra. She'll probably do like
She's doing it all. She's
did
putting
an
up that
album
shit.
and then extra.
All right.
What was I gonna say? Finally, October 24th.
I want to hear the music.
And last,
personally.
wait, hold on. Is this a visual auto? It's definitely not a book. It's definitely not just a book. So that's what it is. My bad. So it's a book, but I feel like it's gonna be music too, because she's talked about in the past that she is working on something. It's gonna be reggae, but not exactly reggae.
Wait, so this announcement is for a book?
It's a fucking book.
Oh, nigga, we talking about it's an album the whole time.
No,
It's
I was
a
like,
fucking
wait,
book?
no, because no, it was my fault. Because I saw visual autobiography. I'm thinking like a visual album.
This is where that sound effect comes in. The
Right?
bum, 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 bum. I'm thinking it's a goddamn album and shit. All right.
My bad.
Well, you know what? She's doing her thing, to be honest, because I wear her makeup and it's lit. Her foundation is dope.
Oh, no, ain't nobody shitting on her for that. No.
I'm
Much
shitting
props
on
to
her.
her with
no,
all
actually,
her
I'm
other
not
shit.
shitting. Nobody come and get me.
Much props to her with all her other shit. I'm talking about, the music.
Yeah,
I've been
that
waiting
is
for
some
music from
bullshit.
her.
Well, no,
yeah.
I feel like there's no way that she's. I mean, everybody said it when she dropped the underwear line and when she did her makeup, like, oh, there's music attached. But damn, you're doing a visual, like, autobiography, and it's not gonna be any music.
Weird.
There's no way.
I don't
visual
think so.
autobiography.
I mean, last time she did her shows or her fashion show she opened for Fenty over there and wherever she has it, she had artists like Noemi and artists perform while the models were there modeling her line. So it could be that she does something like that. But she did also get up and perform in her last Diamonds Ball that she hosted.
Yeah, that I saw. But it was the Pharrell joint, no?
It was with the Pharrell
and then
joint.
like it was like her old music. Yeah. I mean, October 24th. She did say there was a project coming out. Did she say 2019 or 2020? The end of the year. We're in October. She's dropping a book October 24th.
Look, man, it's quite possible. Maybe she
I
just
say
drops
it's
this
not a
first
book.
and then drop the album.
Well, I mean, visual, whatever the fuck.
Visual audio autobiography.
I think it's just gonna be like a visual album. It'll be like Beyonce shit.
I just want to hear some fucking music, man. Straight up.
Because she did. If you think about it, she got Rihanna. I mean, Beyonce did get. I mean, it's Beyonce though. You can't compare. But then, like, Hove is probably in the corner, like Riri, get the visual album. So it could be something like
Gotta
that.
do it. All right, so we'll just wait and see for October 24th what happens. All right.
Of course.
Next, quick fire shit. Heard there's rumblings of a Fresh Prince reboot.
Yeah.
Ooh.
How are you feeling about that? They bringing it back? Maybe not. Oh, spinoff or a reboot?
I think it might be a spinoff. I'm gonna.
Is it a movie?
No, spinoff, like just
A
TV
show.
series, just gonna build off of the original series.
He also
so.
came out with a clothing line for Fresh Prince, and
Oh,
I think he's doing it in waves. So.
Oh my goodness, I'm buying.
I can see
But
it
like
now.
he released some shit and I follow him. I'm like, how the fuck did I not see this? But he's saying he's like, oh, the like pretty much like the next wave of clothes is coming out soon or some shit like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a spinoff.
Spinoff. All right. So how do y'all feel about that? Because I love that show.
I don't know. For a lot of it, Will said it was him kind of like putting his thing into it, his personality and his person into the acting. Because there's some times where he just added a lot of things, and the director allowed him to be his own comical, humorous Will, and he allowed it to also utilize that in that role that he did. So for me, for the new person who's going to do it, is it going to be natural, or is it going to be forced, or is it going to be like not something that's going to be the same exact, or is it going to be like completely different?
I think I don't know any details on it. I'm just hoping it's going to be a good continuation from the story. Cause this is like, what, a good 20 years later? Obviously Uncle Phil passed, so they'll probably add that in somehow.
Yeah.
And there'll probably be something involving Will having kids.
Yeah.
Moving them out somewhere. Maybe he moves them to Bel Air. Maybe he moves them to Philly. Maybe they grew up in Bel Air and they were all spoiled and they moved to Philly. It's kind of like a
Yeah.
reverse effect.
Yeah, there's no real news about it. It's I
Right.
mean, I think just like the title alone, like, you know, Will Smith
Yeah.
is part of this. That alone is news
It's
enough,
excitement,
but
yeah.
there's no extra comments. There's no further. He hasn't said anything. I was gonna say and it's
Jeffrey
from
comes to
entertainment.
Philadelphia and becomes the butler over there.
I wonder. I mean, it was Nia Long. We were talking about this. He
Yeah,
left off
Nia
with Nia
Long,
Long,
yeah.
right?
Like him, like Jazz comes over and
Mhm.
ends up getting with Hillary.
Oh, it's been 13 years. So
13
by the
years.
time they do it, it might be like 14, 15
So,
mark.
You know, Will and Nia, a character, had some kids. You know, maybe stayed around the Bel Air area, moving back to Philly. You know, teaching their kids about his roots and stuff like that.
Yeah, it could be
That's
something
one
like
way,
that.
yeah.
I just,
fuck with that.
yeah, as long as I see Carlton do the Carlton dance, I'm good.
Word,
If
yeah.
you can.
Wait, maybe
Carlton's
like,
a
we were
dance
talking about
teacher.
it with the mini me's, like
Yeah,
with
yeah.
like little kids.
Carlton gotta
Oh,
have
man.
kids that just dance and shit and do it. Oh man, that'll take
Or
over
like
the show.
where he's trying to do, he's doing his dance, and then if they modernize it, I mean, it's they're gonna have it like in a today setting,
Yeah.
so they'll probably have like they'll do their stupid shit.
Yeah, because they did that with Full House. I don't know if
Right.
you guys
Oh, I
saw
didn't
that.
see that. I didn't see
Yeah,
the new
called,
Fuller House.
Fuller
thing.
House. So basically, the girls all grew up and had families, and they live in that same house.
Well, I thought the
Oh, yeah.
Carlton did the Carlton too hard when he was dancing with the
No, you
stars.
stop.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Welcome to me and Pro's life, where this bitch jumps from topic to topic.
It's
We're
true.
just like, wait, hold on, we weren't done. All right, go ahead. Carlton?
dancing, yeah, and Dancing with the Stars. Going back, Carlton. I don't know how he's gonna come back and do that in this show if he does, because like I said, if he does come back in this show to do this, is he broke a hip in Dancing with the Stars recently.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Doing the Carlton?
Doing the Carlton too
Oh,
hard.
all right. Okay. Wow. I gotta see that.
It was he was in a suit and tie.
Fact
He did the
checking.
Carlton too hard.
is
It's
what
fucking
fact
thing.
checking.
He did the Carlton a little too hard.
Now we're gonna break for that.
Hold on, Carlton dance. What was the
Dancing with the Stars, broke hip or fractured hip or something. It was
Oh,
something
yeah.
like of that nature, and I was just like, oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
Oh shit, it's on YouTube. Let me
'Cause
know.
I guess you know the old bones.
Old bones.
He's not as young as he used to be in Bel Air.
Not
No,
as
I'm
young.
sure. No, fuck that. I'm sure all the shit that Will Smith does for his shows, I mean his
I
movies,
guess.
there's no way. He's probably like, oh, fuck, if you don't still do it, you be fine. Just do it. Dance through the pain.
Right? Like, we
So-
gotta do this. We gotta make this money.
Yeah. But Will Smith,
I'll
is,
definitely watch it.
I'll
for
definitely
Will
watch
Smith,
it.
it's not even because you said the money. It's not even about money. The fact that, I mean, it is,
Not
but
tarnishing his legacy.
the fact that he's working on this, he like Jada has like the red table talk thing. I looked at when I was looking at the Fresh Prince shit. It's gonna be under their, damn, I forgot what it's called, like their production company that they just started in July. That is with like that's the red table is underneath that. So like they made their own thing. So that it's gonna be the Fresh Prince spinoff is gonna be under them. And then he has Gemini that's coming out soon. That one looks pretty dope. And I think that one, I wonder if everybody's saying, damn, this is giving me flashbacks of Fresh Prince because in Gemini movie, it's him and his younger self.
Yeah.
And it looks like the way they did the whole computerized shit, it just brings you back to like the pilot episode of Fresh Prince.
Right.
Like that first season, he looked like a baby.
Yeah, he had a
and
little
then-
mustache and shit. Yeah, it was funny
yeah,
as fuck.
and his kids are fucking working, and then Bad Boys 100 is
Yeah.
coming out. I don't. Is that 4 or 5?
Bad Boys for Life.
So that'd be 4. Yeah, 4.
Unless it's the third one.
So
I
that's what I'm
kept
saying. He's doing his
confused.
thing because he just did Aladdin not too long ago, so he's still making money off that, and
Bro,
now
this,
he's
this
dropping
dude
all of
been
these
working,
stuff.
man. He's trying to catch up to The
No.
Rock.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Actually, I wonder if that's
Well, you
It's
think The
probably
Rock got
accurate.
more numbers on
The
him?
Rock's good #1 paid actor.
no. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right. Well, because he does everything. He does everything.
He's killing it.
No, he
Yeah.
does. Because he also has franchises too.
Yeah,
He has
got Ballers.
Fast and Furious.
On
Ballers,
HBO.
Ballers. I haven't seen.
I haven't caught up to that either.
No, I gotta catch
Yeah,
up.
you're right,
That
he
shit
does
I
have
Yeah,
haven't
that.
caught up, bro.
I walked into my apartment and I hear,
Moana too.
huh?
Moana.
Oh, but I walk into my apartment and I'm hearing some shit and I look over and you know how like I'm thinking Juan is watching Entourage because you know it's kind of like that Entourage. Well, it's Marky Mark did it, Mark
Yeah.
Wahlberg. So I look over and I see like the football player, Rocks guy, the one that kept getting traded and shit. That's how long it's been since I've watched. I don't remember the
I keep
name.
forgetting that shit. Yeah.
But the like one of the main guys.
Yeah.
And I look over. I was like, no, I can't see it. No. I was like, put it on mute. He was like, just fucking go to the room. I was like, no. Because I guess he's all caught up. I was like, damn. But the Ballers, that's my shit. Rock does his thing. He's amazing.
It's a good show.
So it's like Entourage, but for football players. It's pretty dope.
I haven't seen it yet.
That's old. I mean,
you are
not
the
old.
queen of switching topics.
Oh,
Love it.
yeah. Let's do it. Let's go.
On a little more serious news, but also good news at the same time. Turns out that with the update on Junior's case,
Yeah.
all the assailants that were involved in the murder have all been sentenced to life, man. I think that was fair, considering everything that happened, all the news coverage, all the videos that we're seeing on that shit. Like, it was a terrible thing that happened to dude, man. So the fact that they're all getting life, well deserved. I think that was the right punishment for the crime.
On this past Friday. Oh, wait. That wasn't just yesterday. Was that?
Well, today's Saturday, yeah.
Was that really happened just yesterday? Oh, shit.
Announced, yeah.
I haven't had to, okay. I haven't had to do it for a while. It all meshes up. So, yeah, yesterday or Friday the 11th, right? Yeah, the 11th. 5 of the men seen on the video attacking the youth were sentenced to life, and because prior to this they were talking about the video, which I seen for like 2 seconds and I couldn't. It was just too much for me. Were sentenced to life in prison in a Bronx courtroom after being convicted of murder and gang assault in June. The judge called it senseless, savage. He used these words for the killing: senseless, savage, and cowardly, as he'd sentenced the first defendant. And they kept going. They asked him why, and the guy, and I can't even, Martinez, I can't, it's fucking Dominican names. The judge asked him why, and he's just said, to be held as a big shot in a gang. Oh no, he kept asking why to be held as a big shot in a gang. I'm not sure you sense the magnitude of what you've done. So he just kept going, and then let me see. Oh, and then the parents spoke about it. Like
so wait a minute, Martinez said to be big.
No. I read it wrong.
No,
I read it
the
wrong.
judge was asking
No, because the way they had broke up the sentence,
Okay.
so I thought it was the guy was answering the question. So when the first defendant came up to do the sentence, the judge was like, "Why? What to like do this? Like it's stupid kind of thing."
Yeah.
So then the parents talked about it after. His mom was like, if it were up to me, I would sentence these murderers to 300 years in prison. And yeah, it's rough.
Or just life. Yeah.
The gang that they're in, I know a few people that are part of that, and growing up surrounded by so many different, I lived not lived, but I used to chill in like fake ass projects of Jersey, and in Hackensack, and not everybody, but like most of them, like they were all different. They weren't part of the same set, but they still managed to get along. But at the same time, when I think I was a junior, we one of my sisters, I think boyfriend at the time, or I think they had already broken up, his little brother Ness died, and I only met Ness maybe one time, and he was 16 years old, stabbed up. Same way, but not in that it was. I don't remember the case details, but it was gruesome, and I believe it was in the middle of the day. I think he was grabbing lunch with his dad. Damn. He stepped out. He heard his name, I think, or something like that. He stepped outside, and they got him, and it's just fucked up. Like growing up with that shit, and then seeing that, it's fucked up, but it's also a sense of like, okay, well they got him. Like the sentence to life is not enough. Like his mom said, like it's even 300 years is not enough. But I think if it was like a death penalty, that's too easy. I think too.
Yeah, like there's no winning. Like someone still had to lose their life because of all this.
Yeah, and I think one video back in the summer
easy to end his life.
Summer just ended.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, like when they were, I think it was like the first court session or maybe the second, the guys are crying. I think some of them were crying. And that, some, like, I guess to try maybe I guess they just knew what was coming to them.
Right.
So it's just fucked up. But they got the wrong person. Yeah, Junior, I think, wasn't supposed to. Yeah.
Yeah, it
They
was
got it
all
confused.
for the wrong
All
guy
all for
anyways.
the wrong person. And the kid lost his life in like the
Like
craziest
an
way.
innocent kid who probably had no part into
Mhm.
it, but
No,
they,
he had no
he
part at
just
all.
looked similar to the description, and they were like, "That's him, get it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh, fucking terrible, man.
I mean, that
Yeah.
happens in minority areas anyways. That happened a lot in Patterson, but like
Mm-hmm.
never to a point where they would go as far as like a stab.
A stab? Yeah. What are
Or
you talking about? People
like
get
that's-
stabbed all the time in Patterson. And shot.
No, I'm talking about like in my time, like being around that area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they would pop a knife or a gun out, but that's in like major areas. But if it was like we gonna hash this out,
Mm-hmm.
and we all knew each other from the block, it was never.
Yeah, if they
it
if
was
they all knew
never-
each other,
Right.
because the my sister's ex, his little brother,
Mhm.
he didn't know them.
Oh,
These
okay,
were
yeah.
guys. These are people straight off the boat. Like
Mhm.
this is their first time in the States, and they just want to feel like they belong somewhere.
Right.
Oh, so they
And
have
it
no
was
place there.
it was kind of and that's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
usually happens.
Yeah, if you have no place there.
So he just
absolutely.
wanted to feel like he belonged, and then I'm not saying no names. So then these people came in and were like, "Oh, well, this is what you got to do," and yeah, it gets carried away.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, that shit is rough. And then even like the shootouts and having to be around that and like, damn, we lost this person, we lost that
Yeah.
person. It's just, it's some type, not gratification, but it's just like, it puts you a little bit at ease that the justice system is fucked up. It is, but it works sometimes. It
Right.
does work. So I it's just, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. It's
No,
just,
you leave it at that. No, it's that.
Did you want to do the?
Thoughts on it.
What?
The other thing, that's
Oh,
pretty
go
much
ahead.
all the rundown as far as
Anything
albums.
We're not
albums
talking
that
about
came
6ix9ine. So if you
No,
you
yeah,
know,
we said
If
we
you
weren't
came
gonna-
if
for
you
that,
hit
I'm sorry,
play,
if
We
you
said
came
we
for
were
Gave
gonna
me that-
mention him.
no.
If you came for our commentary.
No,
on
I
that
don't mind
kid.
mentioning it, but we're
No,
we're
I
not.
said before, that guy that's in that place that is
Mhm.
going through some shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
gonna have
Yeah.
to mention him.
Other than that, there was new albums that came out the week before, and also by the time we're recording this, albums that came out last night on Friday, because we're recording this on a Saturday. One of the big ones that came out, who just recently had a top charting hit, Wale, his album called Wow, That's Crazy,
I can't wait.
just released. So yeah, I've still got to finish that.
Which he tweeted that he wants to be in the Grammys already, like nominated.
I mean, he's overdue. Yeah, I'm not here to deny that. He's definitely one of the most like underrated artists. Also, Virgo Gang, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Gang,
Nothing needs to be
Let me
mentioned.
stop.
Gang. Shout out to the
Wait till
Virgos.
December.
Oh,
Wait
We
God.
still out here.
Wait till December.
We out here, nigga.
You guys aren't out here no more. This is
We
not
out-
your season.
It's Virgo season all the time. Virgo
Oh,
Gang.
it's still Libra. It's
Still out
Libra
here.
now, right?
I don't even know what season it is.
Yeah, it's
but
Libra season, I think,
Whatever.
right now.
Whatever.
Fucking Libra.
Whatever. So yeah, other albums. You said you were playing Summer Walker before, right?
Yeah, I did. I played some Summer Walker.
Sabrina Claudio came out as well. Who else? We had some other people. Let me bring out the album list that Mama Bear the Plug so graciously sets up for us.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
what?
The list. Danny
Oh,
Brown
yeah.
also. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Yeah, I heard. I knew about Danny Brown. I forgot.
Now the
about
Michael
that.
Christmas I hadn't been up on, and I saw
No,
I
his
see us from
name's-
two dope
his
boys.
His name sounds familiar, but I haven't. I probably heard
Okay.
his shit before. I haven't been able to run through this list.
Robert Grasper, Sham 1016. Chris Brown also added like 10 extra songs to his album. I haven't gone through those.
Yeah,
I mean,
his
just
last-
going
yeah.
through the album is tough enough.
I went.
Mhm.
I went to like.
It's great music,
3
but it's
or
so
4 of
goddamn
them.
long.
Some of them, yeah. Like, I mean, I'm never. Chris Brown's a fucking machine, and I'm never like gonna turn away him. Like, I'm like, oh, new music, yeah, I'm listening, but these 50 fucking songs that he's throwing at us like every few months, I can't. It's too much.
Yeah, I mean,
The
Overload.
Madness or Heartbreak Moon, whatever shit, that was dope, but it took me like days to listen to, because after a while I'm just like, okay, I can't. It's too much. It was too much for
it's a
me.
fucking adventure.
Did it give you?
Indigo was pretty good.
Did it give you the same vibe or something?
Oh, that was so, I don't even remember. He just
You
but
ju- you
all
just
his
kind
music
of-
at this point. Chris Brown, all his music, it's like when you plug up your phone and you just hit shuffle to all music, it's kind of like that. It's just like I don't
Different
know.
vibe, everything. Yeah.
I can't tell you. I mean, no, I can probably tell you what album it comes from, but it's too much.
It's definitely expected of because you got just so much.
Yeah.
So many songs. You're bound to have a bunch of different shit in there.
Mm-hmm.
Whether he's rapping, whether he's singing,
Yeah.
it's a slow songs and more up-paced,
Yeah, I think it's pretty good though.
up-tempo shit.
What was I gonna say?
Other albums and stuff. I haven't heard. I don't think any other
Um,
EPs or small joints.
No, I mean we're recording on a Saturday, so there were a few that dropped yesterday. I'll update the list and we'll talk about it the next time, if anything.
Oh, another album like from some artists that I know. I haven't supposed to mention it last episode. And
Oh
didn't.
yes.
From True and Living.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to the folks over there, man. Keith Chandler.
I know you did.
I did mention before.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
P.
P.
Dot
Dot.
also dropped some.
Yeah, P. Dot is the more
Some takes recently.
recent.
P. Dot dropped The Separation.
Mhm.
Keith Chandler dropped earlier last month. Coffee and Chemtrail. So shout out to them.
Yeah.
I'm on
dope
one of the
as
tracks
fuck.
on Keith's joint called Posse Cut. With the Feel the
That was a
Rapper.
good
Shout out to
one,
K
yeah.
Poetic and Olive from Real Music. I was on with them as well. And yeah, no, it was a great experience. Great fucking albums from both of them. P. Dot's a lot more bar heavy, just crazy, just punchlines, metaphors throughout, and just room for songs. Has some introspective joints in there as well. And Keith is just overall just great artist. You know, he's a doctor. He's a teacher. He's a professor. So and he's a rapper. The guy's just multifaceted, man. The guy's impressive as fuck. So, and he runs the Where Beats Meets Bar Showcase, which is a monthly competition for MCs, where it's not just like a showcase event or open mic, but it's more so like producer comes with beats, rappers come with bars.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a one-on-one type thing over 2 different beats.
Yeah,
You split
I
16,
like the dynamic that
Yeah.
they have. I
and
like
they have
that.
a winner. And
How
then
they
the,
set it up.
the top 3 get to come to the show the following month and do a showcase. So in between the competition, you have those winners from the previous month doing their songs. So you get to do the bars one month, and you come back and you do the shows if you win. And if you do win, you get a nice little cash prize for yourself. So, you know, it's a good experience. So shout out to them. You know.
Yeah, I like what they do over there. Yeah, definitely shout out to
And
them.
that's definitely a nice spot for any unsigned artists that are just trying to get their shit together. You know, not to do the whole plug thing, but they are good people. It's like if you need help with setting up cover art or just knowing how to put your stuff on streaming platforms, you can reach out to them. They do consulting services, so they're dope. So shout out to True and Living. True, the letter N, Livin LLC on social media. Look them up.
Oh my god, I
Yeah.
can't remember his name.
Good people. Shout out to Andy. Shout out to Curlin.
Curlin, yeah. I was like, I know it's a K.
Keys, all the people's over there. Yeah, all dope people.
So
yo.
we always, anytime we catch each other, we're working. So either he comes to my show and I'm working, and he's soup. That's when I knew, like the first time I met him, he was once I know like, oh, you do what I do, is when you're like, no, it's cool. I was like, okay. Because I'm like, listen, I'm sorry, because there's so many people like, no, but can I talk to you? And I'm like, I just said I'm busy. Like, I'm trying to be nice here. But so he's like, no, you got to work. Go ahead. And then anytime when I go over there, I think the last couple times I went there, he wasn't there. But yeah, the one time I was like, no, I know. Go ahead. And he just laughed. He was like, oh, we're having the moment again. But yeah, shout out to him. We always say we're going to sit down and talk, but we're always running around
It's hard
and
to
shit.
make it happen.
Yeah, but one of
That's
these
how it
days we
goes.
have to, for sure.
That's how it goes. All right, so that's the album breakdown, at least as far as whatever it is.
Yeah.
We'll definitely listen to more and get back into it because that's how it always ends up being.
Let's get into these cards.
yeah.
Because Mama Bear got
We'll
to
keep
work.
these know yourself. Yeah. So last week we started with these cards called, was it Know Yourself?
Yeah,
It's part of our Know Yourself
from episode
7. And we figured we'd keep the segment going just because these are really good fucking questions. Sade got these while she was out on
one I
vacation.
had to throw away, but
Yeah.
that's it.
There's a lot of them. Some weird ones, man. We had to skip one. Like there was a question about incest during the break, and we were like,
that's the one I
nah,
had
we
to
don't
throw
need to
away.
ever.
I was like, ew.
Have you ever had an
I'm not throwing that
incestual
away.
thought? Like, have you ever had? Yeah, was that it? Have you ever had incestual thoughts?
Have you ever had an incestual thought? And I was like, ugh.
Fuck
Because
no.
that's gross.
Because I was like, oh, that's gross. And then I was like, wait, let me see, because there's stuff on the back that kind of explains like why they're asking the question and what insight you're supposed to get from it. So as soon as I turn the card around, the first 2 words, Sigmund Freud. I was like, exactly, and I put it to the side.
Yeah.
Nothing on homeboy, but
But
I'm
yeah,
good.
you can tell where it's going when you hear
yeah,
that.
as soon as I hear, I'm like, I'm good. All right. Like, okay, it's explainable, but at the same time, I'm good on that.
Yeah, but I like these cards basically because it gives us more of a deep dive into ourselves. Like, as much as we're getting to know each other
Yeah.
as podcast
100%.
fellow potters, like we get to learn more stuff that wouldn't normally come in a regular conversation or wouldn't come up.
Yeah.
So I figure it's a good way to just not only for us but for everybody listening, just to get to know us, as well. Especially for me and Val being the artists and everything, like we have to give so much of ourselves into our music. And it's put in there, so it's another way of just expressing that, I guess. We try to keep it as open and honest as possible, obviously, because some of these questions may be uncomfortable. But that's the whole point, is know yourself.
Yeah.
So let's get started with the first one. What do we got?
Who's going first?
Fuck it, I'll read it. So let's pick random.
Man.
All right. Here we go. All right, first question. What are you a little addicted to? Porn, alcohol, shopping, arguing, etc. Let's start with Val.
Oh, why you gotta start with me?
Because I'm reading the question, nigga.
Okay, that's true. Okay, so I think I'm addicted to shopping, or if I could put something out there.
Okay.
And
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Well, I was probably listening to this like, yeah, bitch, yeah. Because there's always like new boxes coming to the house.
It's the truth. It's like sometimes I'm like, oh, I need a new shirt. And but mind you, I'll spend like 4 to 5 months thinking on the shirt. Like this sweater, for instance, I've known about it for like 7 months and I didn't buy it until like 7 months later. And then when I shop for the first one, I'm like, oh, I might as well get this too. And this, and then this.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So it's like, because I haven't done it in that long time, it feels good when I do it, and then it just keeps going for that time. But I know I limit myself. I don't spend anything more than like $200 if I go on a shopping spree.
Same, yeah.
Like that's
to
cheap
people.
But make
sure, yeah, it is. But but I make sure there's a sale.
Yeah.
Or I get like a coupon code if I'm doing online. If I'm in the store, that's why it's so dangerous for me to be in a store, because I know I hate the activity of shopping, like just having to be like, excuse me, bitch, move, kind of thing, like, being around people, like, no, like, give me my space, I'm trying to do this. But it's just like the waiting around, especially if you're with people. If I'm shopping, you leave me alone.
Right.
That's
like,
how you met the
veer
gym.
off. I'd be like, I'll meet you in a little bit. I used to hate shopping with my sisters, because I'd be like, or my mom, my mom, you go that way, I go this way, and we'll meet in the middle.
I'm a terrible shopper.
When I shop, I have to try shit on. I can't just buy it.
But I get that for sure. But like the online is not too bad. It depends. It depends on it. But I'm not bad with returning. Like, I mean, I've been pretty good where I don't have to return that much stuff. And I never really had an issue with that. If anything, I give it away, because if I get it for cheap, it's like,
I'm in and out. I gotta get something. I don't look. I don't do all that shit. I have a mission. Like, I know where I'm going. I show up, get it, and leave.
Yeah.
I don't spend no extra time. I hate shopping. I'm terrible. Even online shopping, I hate to look through shit.
There was a video that showed
really
a difference between man and woman shopping.
Oh, you see the video with the line.
The man just goes one,
and it's like
men,
women.
Because it's the truth, man. Yo, we don't want to be there. We don't want to be there.
That shit was funny.
And then us is like, oh.
Yeah.
It's like all over the place. No, that's how I am. Or like I try to have a strategy. That way I'm not like, because there are times where I'm like, wait, this looks familiar. Okay, no, I was just here. So I try to like do like, I'm gonna do this and then in. Oh, sorry, and then in and out and all that. Juan, he had his first girly moment this past summer.
Stop, yeah.
I'm putting on a blast. We went to this outlet thing. What is it called? Woodbury Commons. And I was just like, I was like, babe, like, no, like, let's get your shit and then we'll get my shit. And then I had to go to work. This motherfucker, he took so long that I couldn't even get none for I got stuff for myself, but I didn't hit the stores that I wanted to, because I'm like, all right, I got to go to work now.
Uh-huh.
Cause it was me, him, and his cousin, and we're there, and he's like in and out. He's like modeling for us too. He's like, "How are these jeans? Like, I like these, and they got the pockets." He's like, "What?" He's in front of the mirror. I was like, "Babe," I was like, "Wait, no, your ass looks way too flat. Like, what's going on here?"
Yeah. You gotta
no,
check
it was funny
though.
And yeah, we spent mad time in that one store. He's like, "I don't see any shirts I like." I'm like, "Okay, no, here." So we're like personal shoppers. Me and his cousin were just there waiting. And she's like, oh my God, like, you're like a fucking girl today. She was so funny. Like all the times you complain.
So that was shopping addiction. All right, what about you?
Same thing. We
Same.
just had
Yeah.
it. Yep, your turn.
Damn.
Okay.
I mean, I don't really have any like addictions. Not something I do all the time or anything. If I had to say if there's anything I always do, it's just overanalyze, overthink.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
addicted to
Yeah,
addicted to overthinking.
Damn.
Like I just take
that's
that.
a good one.
I overanalyze almost every situation possible. I look at all the
think we're all
random
there.
outcomes and possibilities, what could happen, and I just stay focused on it.
Yeah. I've been
Everything
finding
from
myself in the same way.
everything from shit at work to like friendships to like
Mhm.
relationships, music,
Yeah.
you know, all that stuff. It's always running through my head, like just that type of shit.
Mm.
Always, I can't get out of it. I can't just think of one thing and then just push it to the side.
Mm-hmm.
Like I gotta continue on it for like at least 10, 15 minutes. While I'm driving, I'm just stuck on it. You know, when I'm at work or whatever at home, like that's just
Mhm.
how it is. That's how it's always been. pretty
Yeah,
much.
I've been in the same, like, especially lately, where I feel like I need like a reassessment or a realignment. Like I need to just realign myself, not like
Chakras.
but yeah, kind of. But I just need to be like, okay, let me focus. What am I doing now? Because the moment my ear catches something, I'm like, oh, I want to work with her. I want to do this. I want to do that. And then my mind goes everywhere and I'm just like, fuck.
Yeah.
Then now I'm just like, and then it's just been too much. And having to do like the social media shit, I'm like, okay, no, I need to realign. I need to refocus. So I get the overthinking
yeah.
thing for sure.
I think a lot of us go through that. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. I mean, like, what else is on here? I'm not a big alcohol guy. I like the other stuff.
I am.
Porn. Yeah, there you go. Porn. I watch porn on the regularly.
I think everybody does.
watches porn.
I haven't watched porn in a really long time.
You don't watch? Really? Haven't seen-
No, I haven't no.
I have like a clip or anything like that.
No. For a second, I thought you said clit. I was
Oh,
like,
no.
I had to like.
She kinda
I tried to like skip it, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna say it anyway. No, yeah, no. I mean, like before, like when I was younger. I don't think it's been like a good few years.
So you just watch the whole porn video, or just
Or even
the
like
clip?
a little, yeah, even like a little clip.
Just have
yeah.
not watched any video of people fucking.
Well, if it's like like the HBO shit. Where
okay.
it's like
It's like 2-minute joints.
Insecure, like if it's just a show where it's like a sex scene.
That's like 5 seconds.
Yeah,
They're,
it's like
naked
that's
and
about
just, like,
it.
Yeah.
No, I was watching this one show where that shit was like, okay, what am I watching? I had to like check. I'm like, is this fucking porn or something?
Oh, yeah.
But no, it's not. It doesn't bother me. It's just don't have the need for it. It's like, I'm good. There's not need for it, but like the urge. Like before,
really?
you'd be like,
I'm
yeah, I kind
sorry.
of just want to watch some porn, and that was it. And like, I'm like, whatever now.
On the back of this thing, is pretty much talks about what I said. Addiction shouldn't be narrowly defined in terms of a particular substance.
Mm-hmm.
It's something we feel a powerful need because some aspect of the rest of our lives is pretty challenging. We should therefore stop dwelling on the addictive thing itself and focus instead on the sadness or anxiety that is fueling our dependence on it. You aren't a bad person. You're just suffering in a way that's not currently being addressed.
All right, I
Yeah.
got 15 minutes.
That was dope. Oh, shit. We got to... All right, let's run through these then.
Okay. If I knew I could fail in my professional life, I'd try to.
If you couldn't fail.
If I couldn't fail, yeah. Okay, sorry. So if I knew I couldn't fail in my professional life, I'd try to.
Run the world.
What? As if it still wanted to be a musician?
Yeah,
Or
well,
just
no,
another-
it's not. It's whatever you want.
It's whatever I want.
So
Man.
pretty much what we do now, but without the day job, or in our case, night job.
Well, I mean, if it's just
Well, no,
me-
you do days.
This is me because I'm a musician, so if I knew I couldn't fail, I'd just do music and shit, obviously. But if I had to pick another like profession, like the only thing I've ever wanted to do besides that, like recently, is like stand up comedy. Like I'd want to try that sometime. So if I knew I couldn't fail and I'd be like all the time funny, yeah, I'd do stand up comedy. Fuck yeah,
So
I
Pro
see
one
it.
of these days is gonna do.
stand up comedy
like-
set.
I see it.
Yeah,
And I'm up there.
He's gonna go from never stop to be like, all right, guys.
So let me tell you a story. So the other day,
So open mics, right?
He's gonna be like, Manny, get the fuck off. Like, it's my turn now.
Yeah. Now I do my little thing here and there, like during my set to try to tell a little joke.
No,
every
you
now
do.
and then, so.
Yeah.
But it's something I'd like to like try out one day, like have like a 5 to like 7 minute set of just like observations and jokes and try to see what fucking works.
Well, you're friends with the person that runs Check It, so you can probably get 7.
That is, right. I am friends with that person. That's right. She's the plug, Mama Bear.
It's the plug.
All right, so that's for me, stand-up comedy. What about you?
Run the fucking world, man.
Like president?
No. Like music, but like I've never seen myself outside music.
Okay.
Besides the fact that I want to like kind of run my own BB King's, where I want like restaurant, like a restaurant lounge and like a venue.
So ultimate goal for you is to have your own venue, own popular venue.
Yeah. So I want my own company, and then I'll have the restaurant that's like a BB King's where I hold concerts or like rent it out or whatever like that, but there still be like food, a whole bar and everything.
Okay, I see.
But then I also still work with artists, still have like my show. I have a whole venue that I still have my show at, still work with artists, still be like, have my company would be entertainment, and then I have just a restaurant on the side. That's still part of entertainment. That's been my goal. That's where I skipped some stuff because I was just like, okay, this is not really working. That's not really working. How about from a friend of mine who wanted to start an open mic, where he was a little too picky. Like, I get it. I'm a perfectionist. I get it. But I saw it in the way. I'm like, you know what? If I keep saying I don't like this, I want this and I want that and I don't like that, it's like, when is it going to happen? So I was like, you know what? I'm going to start the show and use that to get to what I want, to get to like, owning my own place, little by little. Cause I have a business. It's just, I'm trying to get it to grow. So if I could do that without having to work, like, a day job or having to, that stuff, and it could pay me, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, sky's the limit at that point.
Yeah,
Shit,
for sure.
Right.
What you?
For me, I think if I couldn't fail, I would be motivational speaker full time. Or
doing tours and shit?
Doing tours. I would start my campaigns on giving back to children in different areas of the world that need, like there's children in Cambodia. There's committees that literally work 24/7 to keep a child out of sex trafficking. There's like hardcore industry like campaigns and things like that nature that I would be a part of for sure, to give back and try to cancer patients or anything of that nature for sure.
That's what's up.
I would do that, and I would try to make an awareness. So obviously I would have radio show on the side. I would still sing, but I would
podcast will still be going.
Yeah, podcasts, radio shows and stuff like that. And if not my own talk show, maybe an Ellen DeGeneres of some sort. Or
I see where you're trying to go. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I just want to be able to give back and heal some way, somehow.
You want to be the Puerto Rican Oprah?
Yeah.
I'll say one. I just can't decide. I'm indecisive.
Okay.
So yeah, go ahead.
That's a good question.
Pick one and I'll say it.
Pick one of the three.
Nah, just look at it.
Just look at it?
Well, I don't know. I don't care. You're so annoying. I can't decide.
List the now guilt-inducing occasions when you were especially mean to certain people.
That's a good one. I was thinking about that one too.
List, and then in parentheses, now guilt-inducing, because if you think about it now, it should make you feel guilty. Occasions when you were especially mean to certain people. So name a time where you were mean to somebody that probably didn't deserve it, or that makes you feel bad about it now.
My sister.
Okay. Yeah. You were mean to your sister. All right, what happened?
I was mean to my sister when I was in my ghetto phase of life.
Ghetto phase.
All
right.
In Patterson, it was bad. I used to think I was big shot and shit because I used to hang out on Summer Street and Beach Street with a bunch of people.
Oh,
so
Summer Street. Sorry.
Yeah, Beach Street and
Spring Street. School Street. My bad.
Yeah, so we would be on Essex.
No, because sorry, I have family in Patterson. That's why.
Okay.
Sorry, my bad. Go ahead.
So we would be on Essex and everything, and then my brother and my sister, I would come home and then I would be mean to them. For no reason. just because I wanted to be. Yeah. And like sometimes I'd call my sister names that it didn't need to be called. So yeah, I felt bad for that. And now looking at it, I was just like, yo, who did I think I was? Like, on some
big shot and shit.
Yeah. I think that was the time. And then one time with my mom. But you know, you live and you learn. I have a big temper, but my brother's temper is really bad.
Yeah.
Okay. My words are fire. I think our words in my family kill. it's not necessarily like we lash out. It's our words that just.
No, you lash out.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's why I'm looking at her. I'm like, what are you talking about words, bitch? You lash out. Because I was in the same boat. I used to be the same way, and it's the words, but it's also the force you put behind them.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Is what it is.
Because I know somebody where she's lethal with her words, and she will have a straight face. Because she can be like interview,
I still feel bad.
like interview ready. Shout out to Sierra. She could be like in her like interview mode, like oh, I'm talking to some white people, and then she will just obliterate you. Right. And she she made this one guy cry. She makes a lot of her, like the people that work for her sometimes they cry. But I
also used to bully.
No, I never did that. I was cool with everybody. It was just, well, I mean, the cases when I was mean, because a bitch got to get to work. The cases when I was mean, that's a lot. It's a lot. Because I have, my mom says, you got your fucking father's temper. I've worked on it. I've grown. But when I wasn't grown, I would say all the people that used to work for me, I definitely feel bad. I mean, especially in the beginning, because I used to like throw shit. I'd be like, you're fucking up. I think that one, because I had so much pressure. I was like new manager kind of thing, and then I just also had my temper. So there's that too. I'm trying to think of what else. And it was weird because I had like people's love. Yeah. But then there was or maybe there was fear, and then I also had like. Kind of like okay, no problem. What you want? What do you want? Okay, because it was like, and I've seen a couple of them recently, and they'll stop in like the job I have now, and we'll talk. And I remember like when they were like, oh, have you yelled at anybody here? I'm like, no, I'm not in charge. Like I come in, I make my money, and I leave. Right. Like I don't really deal with anybody now like that. Like that side, I think that's been able to help me not being in charge of anybody and being able to not care has definitely helped. I think outside of work, not really. I know I have a bitch face and it comes across a certain way, but I will never touch anybody's book bag. That's for sure. And I will never put, what was it on the floor? Oh, no. I forgot what it was that he said I put on the floor, but I definitely didn't touch nothing. A battery. Yeah, no. My stealing days and mean days are behind me. I mean,
I see. No, we had to.
Because I finessed that shit.
Bring that back.
No, there's just I even though I've been mean to people, I definitely don't touch people's shit. Nope. I guess people misconstrue me saying, can you get out of my shot? Because I have a videographer that's hired for this. I asked you to get out of my shot, and I asked nicely 5 times, and 3 times. 4th and 5th weren't that nice. Oh my god! So I get it.
Cracking up.
Or you're playing music during. You're playing music during.
Spice meter going up right next to her.
Oh no, gaslight. You're playing music during somebody's performance, and I tell her like, yo, can you just put the music down, or however I said it. I don't think I cursed, but I just said, can you turn the music down? Out of respect, you agree, and then you tell my podcast host that I was like a little salty about it. Well, it's somebody who paid to get in here and is also performing. Like, have some respect, but it's cool. It's cool. But other than that, because if I was mean, I wouldn't feel guilty about that. But now I feel mad that I wasn't mean. Because it's like, you're going to say all that shit and I wasn't even mean? Oh, I wish. But
it's all right. We're going to see him in the next show, probably.
Jesus. All right.
No, because it's my show, and I try to keep no negativity. If you felt negativity from me, baby, it came from you. It didn't come from me. Because if it came from me, it got taken care of in 2 seconds, and that was it. But other than that, go ahead, bro.
All right. Well, it's hard to follow that. Yeah, I guess times where I've been mean to certain people, I'd say really comes from work. I've been mean to certain people that have tried to be nice or just didn't mean to. Or I just might have been in a bad mood because I think I mentioned this before in conversation with you guys. I think me being at my job is just like one of the places where I don't have complete control over what I'm doing or how much I want to be there and effort I want to give. Like everywhere else in my life, whether I'm with family, friends, music, like I'm in a place where I have complete control over what I want to do and how I can handle it, and I can be around people that I enjoy. And my job is not so much that all the time, you know, so that tends to make me irritable, and I also have that grimace that comes out, so that can be an issue for me as well.
Yeah.
So I tend to be mean to certain
We
people.
know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tend to be mean to certain people, so I don't mean to be, but it just comes out that way. But yeah, I've definitely had feelings where I now feel guilty about being so mean to those people. So yeah, that would be that for me.
Yeah, my bitch face kind of makes me feel guilty because I don't do it like it's just natural.
I gotta say, and it's not just because I know you and everything, but it never was that like mean to me. That
no, I think I've grown, but no, I think because
like when I saw you, I didn't get that impression.
When I'm in work mode, maybe that's what it is.
Work mode is that.
Because the first time you officially
saw
each other.
No, like work mode as in he sees me in work mode, but it's two different like work. It's two different jobs.
You were still working, but you were also chilling that night.
Yeah.
When we met.
Yeah.
Like you was just.
Yeah, because I was there
the
to
only work
like
you had
work
was a judge.
Yeah, but to me that's still work because I'm networking. I'm trying to be like.
But you weren't like running around like you would during the Thursday
no, like
show.
I wasn't running
exactly.
it. Yeah, I know what you mean. Because if I'm like at an event, to me that's work.
Yeah.
To me, because I'm like, okay, let me make sure that I'm not getting out of pocket. Let me make sure I'm not getting like too comfortable. And I think that's probably why like I may not have a bitch face.
Well, it was easier to talk to you.
Because I'm thinking about other people's perception of me, and that's been able to help me control the bitch face. But
you didn't have running a show in the back of your mind that night when we met, so it was easier to talk to you.
Yeah. I don't know if I have a bitch face at my show.
You never do.
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think you do at all.
Oh, somebody was just sensitive? Okay.
The spice.
Yes. My foot fell asleep.
All right, let's move on to the next question.
Oh, are we doing another question? Because I got like 5 minutes.
You want to do one more? Or we can close it out.
No, I got less than
Guys,
5.
this is going to be a short episode because of the fact that we're recording. People got to work. We got jobs. We got bills to pay.
And it's
know what I mean?
slow news week.
Slow news week. But it's all the same. It's all love. We're going to be back. Our next episode is going to have some very, very special guests.
Yeah.
Plural.
Yeah. Or just one.
Or just one. It could be, depending on how we feel. But yeah, right now.
We're looking forward to it.
We may have guest music back.
Yeah, you never know. Have him call in. He can be a weekly segment, a call-in segment.
He has been, when I told him, I was like, yo, I can take phone calls now.
Yeah,
he's
like,
what?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm calling in.
Yeah. He was excited as hell. He was ready for that shit.
I'm calling in.
I'm calling in. But,
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm calling in, guys. My man, guess.
Oh, that shit was great.
Yeah, so, and then I think we'll be filming at a different location for the next one, for the guest episode, I think, most likely.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
That out.
That's going to be fun.
So
then we'll try to get some more camera angles because we probably will need them.
No, we definitely are.
Yeah, so it's going to be good.
Yeah, but we'll get to that. You guys you'll hear about it soon.
All right, so we'll close it out. So again, it's saying that you've tuned. Thanks for tuning into another episode of the Lyrical Fix Podcast with Kid Pro.
Sade.
Val.
Again, remember you can check us out on Anchor, Audio Mac, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Be sure to subscribe, rate, comment, like, all that good shit. Make sure you hit that notification so you're informed as soon as there's some new content. You can pick that up right away and listen to us wherever the fuck you're at.
Yeah.
Check us out.
And you can also catch us August. I said August. I forgot what month we're in. October 19th, you're going to see Val and Kid Pro and a few other of our friends performing. It is not my show. It's my girl Nat and her podcast, the Therapy Without a Degree podcast. They have a little art show going on. It's going to be super dope. I can't wait. I've been dying to go to her art shows.
It's in
Passaic, yeah.
Passaic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Going to be performing on a baseball field.
It's going to be dope.
Doing my thing.
So, yeah, you can catch them too. And I'll be there being a little Mama Bear. I'll be there. Guest music.
Oh, it's gonna be a
STTP.
little hangout day, little pod
Yeah.
family hangout.
Yeah, the entire day. We got because you got that,
I'm
and then you also
excited.
have
One mic day
Yeah.
in Cliffside Park.
Jinx.
Yeah.
Jinx.
So yeah, catch us if you want to see us out and about. Catch us at those two places.
Come say hi. The K.I.D tour, the Joker tour, the royalty run from St. James as well. You know what I mean? We all working out here. You know, independent artists trying to do their thing. You know what I mean? I guess a little mini Val tour as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
we'll get to her big tour soon.
You know what I mean? Exactly. You know what I mean? Lyrical Fix Pod. We out.
Sign out. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.